The Bitcoin-U.S. Dollar exchange rate has barely changed in the past few weeks. Nonetheless, data from the past seems to indicate that this time period could see some really extreme, volatile price changes, relief rallies, capitulation events, or even impulsive rallies that signal the bottom is in are all possible scenarios. Not to mention that 2022 appeared to be a replay of events from 2018, and predictions suggest that Bitcoin could drop below $15,000 this month, and the next several months could be unprofitable as well. And it's only happened twice before that Bitcoin had ever been in the green. Now the price of Bitcoin may fall to negative territory in 2023 and beyond if past trends are any indication, and that might actually happen because, you see, cyclical patterns occur frequently in the crypto world. Hey there folk, and welcome back to Econify. Today we're going to take a look at crypto, which seems to be everyone's issue nowadays, and its crash tendencies that we've seen so far. Feel free to stay till the end of the video, but in the meantime, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for future videos. But for now, how about we get into this one? Recently, the price of Bitcoin hit a yearly low of $17,660, the lowest level it's been at since 2020, and for weeks before the sell-off, Bitcoin had been in a correction, the sharpest of the year. Since its record high of $67,000, Bitcoin has now dropped 14%, with a 13% drop from its high to low just in November. That's to say that Bitcoin is currently experiencing its worst bear market since 2018. Which is very unfortunate. Now, during that year, Bitcoin dropped 83% as interest rates were raised by the Federal Reserve for 4 consecutive quarters. Well, this year is shaping up to be very similar, with interest rates being increased by central banks much farther in 2022 than in 2018. Increasing inflation, higher interest rates, the conflict in Ukraine, the closure of key supply chains due to COVID, and other factors have all contributed to the huge current catastrophic crypto crisis. But why is this happening? In November of 2022, the current downturn was precipitated by the failure of FTX, which is a large cryptocurrency exchange, and the collapse of FTX, which processed daily transactions totaling around roughly $1 billion, is now having repercussions on other cryptocurrency exchanges. For the first time since 2020, Bitcoin's price fell below $20,000 in June of 2022. Because of the extreme conditions, prominent US Bitcoin lending platform Celsius Network has frozen withdrawals and transfers, and this action has probably contributed to a general decline in the price of cryptocurrencies. The non-stop Chinese crackdown on crypto is also a factor. Some folk have even theorized that Russia would put a halt to all crypto activities. Also, big cryptocurrencies have experienced sharp and unexpected sell-offs, and because all of this stuff is happening, widespread fear and selling have now occurred as investors and consumers are beginning to lose faith in the market. You can say that it's due to the synergistic effects of high-frequency algorithmic trading, professional traders, and the cryptocurrency exchange Binance. Stablecoins too, which are digital assets whose value is pegged at 1-to-1 with a traditional currency like the US dollar, have also caused this. Usually Bitcoin, unlike stocks, can be exchanged on a large number of different exchanges, but Binance controls more than half of the whole cryptocurrency market, and that's what determines the value of Bitcoin and other digital currencies. Investors must first convert their fiat currency into a stablecoin such as Tether before they can purchase cryptocurrencies. And since $1 is usually equal to 1 Tether, trading on Bitcoin Tether determines the dollar price of Bitcoin, and it has the highest volume of all Binance products. So the scary part is that the entire cryptocurrency market collapses when Bitcoin does. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates recently, the greatest increase since 1994 actually. The shift caused a sell-off of all investments, and also the S&P 500 was in a bear market and is having its worst week ever since 2020. Just over a month ago, 2 other prominent tokens, Terra Luna and Celsius, suffered a combined $60 billion in losses, sending shockwaves across the entire cryptocurrency community, and now sending shockwaves to my heart because I can't even dream of $60 billion. So there are quite a lot of reasons to question the long-term viability of digital currency after such losses. Gareth Soloway, chief market analyst at inthemoneystocks.com, you might have heard of him, I haven't, recently discussed the recent crashes in the cryptocurrency industry, notably the Bitcoin area, the causes of these crashes, the potential consequences, and why he feels the Bitcoin crash is not finished just yet. In August of last year, when the value of Bitcoin was approaching $50,000, he was one of the few industry insiders to predict a gloomy scenario. What's more, the American even predicted back then that Bitcoin's price would rise above $50,000 before falling to $18,000 based on the charts as well. His prediction, which was pretty unpopular at the time, you can imagine why, came true just recently as Bitcoin fell to below $18,000. Well, despite the recent negative developments, the guy projected in a recent interview that the bulls would boost the price of the cryptocurrency from $25,000 to $30,000 in the next 3 to 6 weeks. Well, there's something to think about. And after that, however, he sort of anticipates a downward trend in the price of Bitcoin, possibly to the low tens of thousands. If his prediction comes true, Bitcoin's price would drop to its lowest level in almost 2 years. Long-term investors, though, have nothing to worry about despite the industry's recent decline. That's because, according to Soloway, this will flush out all the weak bullshit in the market and make it even stronger. And that's not all, actually. He even came into the ecosystem when Bitcoin was trading at roughly $19,000, admitting that he was a hodler. The value of Bitcoin fell from around $40,000 to around $26,000, but in reality it dropped to $14,000 just before the adjustment. The original price of around $14,000 was perfectly replicated with a gradual decrease to around $17,500. In addition, if you look, you can see that we've reclaimed the major level that was briefly reached in January or December of 2017, and now are trading near it again. Now that's something folks are aware of and grateful for. And here's one more nugget of great technical analysis. If you take the low from March of 2020, which is the low from COVID, which was the lowest point going back quite a while on Bitcoin, you get a nice little uptrend. It was close to, say, $4,000, and if you draw a line from the current low all the way up to the highs in April and November of last year, you get both of those points. There seems to be a technical nexus right here, which tells me to expect at least a little bit of a bump, perhaps between $25,000 and $30,000 in the market. Who would have thought? A lot of people think it'll be quicker, but as it gets and stays above $20,000, more people will start saying, hey, we've got a major low in Bitcoin, and the bulls will return with some kind of revenge trying to say, okay, well now we're heading back up to all-time highs. Well, Soloway says that over the next 3 to 6 weeks, he anticipates that will propel it back to $25,000 to $30,000. Again, $17,000 is a low, and a percentage change of 17.5 is substantial. It may not seem like much of an increase if you're starting out at 60 to 65K, but those numbers represent a significant percentage increase, don't you think? Unfortunately, many people agree with him that there will be other drawbacks. Second best estimate, probably 12K. You still think we're going down to that number? Well, depress me by letting me know in the comments. Speculators' confidence in the cryptocurrency market appears to have collapsed, suggesting that the Bitcoin bubble has indeed burst, and prices have plummeted as a result of a loss of trust in the market. By November of 2021, the price had increased by more than 700% annually, reaching a new high of $69,000. Nice. If you look closely at June of 2022, it dropped to below $18,000. Even 1 year after reaching an all-time high in November 2022, it was still under $20,000. And when asset prices rapidly increase to a new high, the likelihood of a crash or at least a correction during which prices drop to a more normal level increases. Are we then living through cryptocurrency's final days? Well, I hope not, because I'm gonna have to change the theme of this channel. And on that very cheerful note, we've come to the end of the video. But before we go, let's start a nice little Econify therapy session in the comment section to help each other cope under these challenging times in the crypto community. And don't forget, you can like and subscribe to Econify to remain in the loop about the constantly changing world of crypto. But for now, that is all from me, and I will catch you in the next video.